WNBA just got caught red-handed in the biggest officiating scandal in basketball history. And the evidence isn't coming from some leaked audio or whistleblower testimony. It's coming directly from international referees who just accidentally exposed how corrupt the league really is. What happened at the FIBA World Cup qualifiers didn't just embarrass the WNBA establishment. It completely obliterated their carefully constructed lies about Caitlin Clark needing to adjust to professional physicality. Because when she stepped onto that international court with real referees calling real fouls, she didn't just dominate. She systematically destroyed every single opponent, while the veteran players who have been claiming they built this league watched helplessly from the sidelines.
Because the FIBA referees put them on notice, pretty much let them be known. We ain't doing what y'all would be doing in the WNBA. So, quite frankly, the FIBA referees set the tone for how a game...
Here's what nobody's talking about. For an entire rookie season, we watched WNBA referees swallow their whistles every time Caitlin Clark got hammered by flagrant fouls. Chendi Carter's blindside body check, play on, Angel Reese's constant grabbing and holding, let them play. Dijon Carrington's eye poke that left Clark bleeding, just basketball according to the refs. The league's veteran enforcers told us this was normal. This was how rookies earn their stripes. This was professional basketball. But then FIBA happened. And those international referees who don't give a damn about WNBA politics or protecting veteran egos called the game straight. They penalized illegal contact. They protected offensive players. They officiated with actual integrity. And what happened? Clark averaged nearly a double-double, shot over 40% from three, and walked away with tournament MVP honors while making it look effortless. The same player who supposedly couldn't handle WNBA physicality just torched international competition the moment real referees started doing their jobs.
Don't want to get too specific into details, but knowing that this new CBA is going to be historic. It's going to create generational success between players of all levels, and really exciting.
Here's where it gets absolutely wild. The veteran establishment isn't just embarrassed by this exposure. They're actively trying to steal credit for the massive financial windfall that Clark's popularity created. Breena Stewart just stood in front of cameras and claimed that the historic new collective bargaining agreement is the result of their labor. Their labor. Let me break down exactly how delusional this statement really is. For 27 years, the WNBA operated at a loss. Empty arenas, terrible TV ratings, constant financial bailouts from the NBA. The league was essentially a charity case that lost money every single season. Then Clark arrived and everything changed overnight. She shattered college basketball viewership records. She sold out every arena she played in. She forced networks to completely renegotiate their media rights deals. The entire financial boom happening right now. The salary increases, the private jets, the expanded playoffs. All of it exists because one player created unprecedented global interest in women's basketball.
And really be in a space where we're in collaboration with the WNBA. You know, we are now a part of a rev share system, and we are going to see the fruits of our labor in a way that we've never done before.
And get this, Stewart actually had the audacity to claim that her failed, unrivaled league was the catalyst that forced the WNBA to improve conditions. A startup league that barely averaged 120,000 viewers on national television. A league that scraped the bottom of the broadcasting barrel and generated zero sustainable buzz. She's trying to convince people that this ratings disaster somehow intimidated WNBA owners into offering historic salary increases. Meanwhile, Clark pulls 334,000 viewers for a meaningless exhibition game on a secondary channel. She just won international MVP while representing USA basketball. She's the reason corporate sponsors are throwing money at the league. But somehow Stewart's vanity project deserves credit for the financial revolution. The level of cognitive dissonance required to make that statement is absolutely staggering.
Negotiations with the WNBA. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, what we could take from Unrivaled was just the way that players were treated and how we had a standard to make sure that everybody had access to everything that they needed to build their basketball, build their game in a way.
Now listen to this part. The players' union tried to play hardball with billionaire owners over revenue sharing. They pounded tables demanding massive slices of the economic pie. They threatened lockouts and work stoppages. But the owners knew something the players didn't want to admit. They saw the FIBA officiating expose how artificially suppressed Clark had been. They watched her dominate international competition the moment she got fair treatment. They looked at the viewership numbers for veteran-led alternative leagues and realized those players have zero standalone market value. So the owners called their bluff. They pushed all their chips to the center of the table, and the union immediately folded, accepting a deal they're now desperately trying to take credit for, because everyone in that boardroom understood the brutal mathematical reality. Without Clark, they're back to empty arenas and financial losses. Wait, it gets worse. The establishment spent an entire year trying to break Clark psychologically through coordinated physical intimidation. They used referees as weapons, allowing veterans to batter her while claiming it was just basketball. They manipulated narratives, suggesting she needed to earn respect through suffering. They artificially suppressed her touches and marginalized her impact to protect fragile veteran egos. And now that international referees have exposed this corruption to the entire globe, these same veterans are standing in front of cameras claiming they're responsible for the league's financial success. They're demanding executive bonuses without producing executive output. They're riding the coattails of the greatest economic engine women's basketball has ever seen while pretending they built the machine. Here's the kicker. The free market doesn't care about manufactured press conferences or veteran delusions. The millions of fans who buy tickets, purchase merchandise, and generate television ratings see exactly what's happening. They watch the blatant physical sabotage allowed by WNBA referees. They see veteran leadership trying to steal credit for a financial boom they didn't create. They see the greatest playmaker of this generation constantly marginalized by an insecure old guard that's terrified of becoming irrelevant. The establishment is playing a dangerous game of corporate chicken with their own fan base. They're destroying goodwill with the exact demographic that pays their salaries. And they're doing it while the evidence of their corruption is broadcast globally for everyone to analyze. The implications for the upcoming season are absolutely terrifying for the veteran establishment. Clark returns to WNBA courts with international MVP credentials and global evidence that she's unstoppable when referees call fair games. She's operating under a new CBA that she single-handedly funded through her market appeal. The training wheels are coming off, and the petty domestic politics that suppressed her rookie season have been exposed as fraudulent. When she steps onto that Indiana Fever court, she won't just be fighting opposing defenses. She'll be fighting a league establishment that was caught red-handed trying to artificially suppress their own biggest star. And this time, the entire basketball world will be watching to see if WNBA referees continue their corrupt mandate or start calling games with integrity. So here's the brutal truth nobody wants to say out loud. The polite era of grow the game, participation trophies is dead and buried. We've entered the ruthless era of absolute leverage, where market forces determine value regardless of veteran feelings. The hostile takeover isn't coming. It's already happened. The total liquidation of the old guard is mathematically inevitable because you cannot artificially suppress fundamental laws of physics or economics. Clark is the only asset on the global basketball board capable of delivering macroeconomic production, and the international tournament just proved it beyond any shadow of doubt. The institutional gaslighting from Stewart and the veteran establishment represents nothing more than the final desperate breath of an obsolete hierarchy that knows its time has expired. The revolution is here, and the evidence is undeniable. International referees just exposed the WNBA's corrupt officiating mandate, while veteran players desperately try stealing credit for financial success they didn't create. This isn't just about basketball anymore. This is about money, power, and who controls the future of professional sports. So here's my question for you. Now that the corruption has been exposed globally, will WNBA referees finally start calling fair games, or will they continue protecting veteran egos at the expense of their own credibility? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this scandal is about to reshape everything. If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really happening behind the scenes, smash that like button, subscribe for more unfiltered analysis, and hit notifications because the upcoming season is going to be an absolute war zone. I'll see you in the next one.